Welcome to another episode of Chatting with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today I got Will Hatrick. What's up, man?
Hey, how you
How
doing,
you doing,
Staxx?
bro?
Good,
Chilling.
good.
How you been,
Day
man?
by day. Good.
I hear you.
I just got a few things done that I needed to get done. The more I get done, the better I feel.
I hear you, man.
So what's
So you
going
want to
on?
tell the people where you're from, man? Where you're from and your name and all that?
I was born in Dover, Delaware, on the Air Force base. My dad was in the Air Force, and my mom's from Thailand. So, but she came over with her mother before that. So, I ended up growing up in West Grove, Pennsylvania. It's like Southern Chester County. I don't know if you know where that is.
I'm from Connecticut, man.
I live in Lebanon now. I ended up here because I ended up getting locked up. I had to go to prison, go upstate, and I went to the crappiest one. I went to I don't know if you know, familiar with Pennsylvania prison. It was like Chester State Prison. It's a program jail.
From what Cuzzo told me. I only know from what Cuzzo told me, man. Shout out to Cuzzo. Shout out to Go to the Streets.
Yeah, shout out to Broken Misfits. Yeah, well, where he was at is nothing like where I was at. I was a program jail. It was so petty. Like, I stayed out the way when I was in there. I actually went to seminary school when I was in there. I didn't quite finish it because I had gotten out. But I tried to, even me staying out the way, I still had issues, right before I was getting ready to leave, somebody was running their mouth and I was just this close.
STI Chester.
Yeah. It's terrible. It's the worst place. The town's terrible.
What did you go there for, man? What did you end up going there for?
Well, I got a bunch of charges from before, but this one, the last one, was forgery and simple assault. I got the forgery. I was getting high, and I stole, on record, $7,900 from my kid's mother's dad. And yeah, it was. I felt like a scumbag, and it was drugs, man. That's all I can say, man. Make you do the dumbest thing and make you hurt your family. Like my daughter, like she was 6 months old when I went. Well, after that, like he ended up forgiving me. Thank God, because it bothered me. I got to see him, and unfortunately, he passed away last January, COVID. So,
but you got to straighten out your life kind of before he passed away, and
yeah. I got to see him. I got to ask for forgiveness. He gave it to me, and we would talk out there. We smoked cigarettes outside together, and we would talk all the time. I loved him. Even when I did that to him, I loved him.
you just drugs, man. Drugs and alcohol make you do real fucked up shit, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and like I had friends that would stop, even like good friends that would stop messing with me just because of drugs. They didn't want to see me doing that, or they didn't want to be influenced by it. But the simple assault came from, I was in town, right, and I was calling to try to see my kid. So I was calling her mother, and I was on the phone with her mother, and her father's best friend was there, and grabbed the phone from her and threatened to shoot me. And when somebody threatens me, I'm coming to you. So I said, well, you better have it ready because I'm coming right now. And I went up there. He didn't have a gun, but he had like 2x4 in his hand. And he was a big guy. He come up, he ended up hitting me in the back, but he fractured his leg. And at the same time, her dad came and they were choking me and stuff. So I had to hit him like once or twice to get him off of me. But because I left and they called the cops, I got the simple assault. I got the assault charge. They were trying to give me like intimidation of a witness. I'm like, there's no way you can do that, because at that time I didn't know of any charges. You know what I mean? There was nothing filed against me. So how can I be intimidating anybody?
Yeah, like you didn't have no case to back that allegation up, right? There was no case going on to even back up the allegations. that you were intimidated.
Yeah, true. Right, yeah. But yeah, because I mean, he knew by then, but nothing was filed with the police or anything like that. But
this Code of the Streets wants to know, what part of PA are you from?
Oh, I'm from Chester County. Like he probably knows what Westchester is, because Philly's not too far from now. I was like probably about an hour from there, West Grove, Pennsylvania. It's like next to Kennett and like I don't know if you know, Lincoln University is a school like out towards Oxford.
Code probably knows that stuff, bro. I don't know nothing about Pennsylvania. All I know is Pittsburgh and Philly, man, and that's it.
Right.
But so when did you start getting in trouble, man? When was the first time you got in trouble? Did you get in trouble when you were younger in school, or did it happen like when you were a teenager?
It happened. It happened the first time I was probably like 14, 13, something like that. We were throwing snowballs at somebody's trailer, and the guy called. Well, the guy came out, and we ran. Right, we must have been younger than that. It might have been 13. We ran, but one of them couldn't run, so he snitched on us all. But the guy dropped the charges because we were young. We came and talked to them. And,
bro, we were throwing rocks at cars one time, and this dude in a Jeep was driving, right? We hit his Jeep. He ended up grabbing one of my friends, and we're not gonna leave my boy. Dude's beating the shit out of my boy, man. He's beating my boy up. Yeah. We're all running up to him, and the dude's huge, and he's like trying to grab us and shit. We're all running around this parking lot. It was funny, man.
Yeah,
I remember the days throwing rocks at cars.
Yeah.
So what was your first time with the cops? Like with major, like a case?
Oh, a chase? Oh,
no, like a case, not a chase. A case.
Oh, I did have a chase though. I'm just saying. That's what I was getting ready to tell you. My first case, I would say when I got out of the Army. I got stuff that was all due to alcohol.
So what made you get into the Army? We could talk a little bit about that.
Honestly, for God, man, I thought that I would, by serving my country, that I was doing something for God. But honestly, I could have killed a brother in Christ or something like that, and I'm glad I never did. So. I just did it for God, and like I wasn't a good. So I mean, I did a great job in the Army. I did my work. My appearance was good. All that. I looked out for my squad. You know what I mean? But I didn't take crap from anybody, so I had a hard time in there. I barely made it out or honorable. But
like they're telling you what to do, and you're like, you got an attitude problem, right? So you're like, fuck that.
Well, not quite that. I did good in basic training. My drill sergeant, he come up to me. I'm standing at attention. He's like, Hatrick, you got an attitude problem. And I'm just standing there looking at him. He's like, I like that. This was at Fort Leonard Wood in Missouri. I did good in basic training. Like I was a model soldier, right? But honestly, what messed it up was I didn't even know if I was going home, because I found out later I was supposed to go to Korea, but I couldn't because my mother's from another country. So I was like kind of like a holdover, but I did get to go home, and I called my father last minute. I'm like, hey, I'm coming home. He's like, now? I'm like, yeah. It was like 10 o'clock. I would have been in. He's like, well, you can't stay here. I'm like, what? His wife, my stepmother, they had a kid together, and she threatened to keep her away. If I were
so they had like a life together, and they didn't want you to come back and be involved with the shit that they had.
Well, my stepmother, right? she hated me because I was born from a different woman. Like she was cool up until they got married that day. Snap, different change. Yeah. So like, he messed it up, man. I was like, man, I thought maybe she might accept me then, at least. I went, I'm going to do this. I come hometown. It was terrible. It put me in a depression. I hated it. So
what did you do when they said you can't come here? What did you do from there?
Well, at the time when I was staying home, her parents let me stay at their house, but I didn't feel welcome there, So I stayed in my a friend. I used to date. She is was my stepmother. My dad was married to her, but he just got divorced. Yeah, I stay at her house. She's like my mother, like a mother and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Growing up, I used to date her niece. So um, we're still close, real close. Like I
So then,
live there still, like type.
after you get out, right, and they don't let you go back home, do you start getting in trouble right away when you get back?
When I go in the military, yeah, like I went to was a Bravo company in 70th Engineers, and they called me the problem child because when somebody would pop off to me, no matter what rank, I couldn't. My dad taught me not to take crap from nobody, and I went in when I was 17, so something clicked. Like it just clicked. I'm like, you know what? It just felt like it was in vain, but I still did my job. I still I still volunteered for stuff. I volunteered to go to Kuwait. Like I'll put who wants to go to Kuwait? Because I was like, I'm in Kansas. I'm gonna be far away, so I might as well go make some money. And it was good to go on the Charlie company. I went there. I got I've gotten at least 4 Arco 15s, at least. I might maybe 5.
What's that like? Kind of like a disciplinary.
Yeah, Arco 15. It's like there's a field grade and there's like company grade. Field grade's worse, and company grade like they keep it within there. The battalion doesn't know, like they know about it, but
So what's some of the things that you would do to? What's some of the things you would do to catch those charges?
Just snapping. Well, the first time was my squad. Me and my squad, a lot of like 3 of us used to go to a bar, and I was under 21. I was like, but this bar served me, and my boys would always gas people up. Like he would get drunk and he'd be like, "Yo, my boy will beat your ass. My boy would beat you up," and I don't even know what's going on, And all of a sudden, I got somebody that looks like Kid Rock, talking smack to me, and I'm like, I don't know who you are, but
because let's go. Because this dude's gassing him up. Because the other guy's gassing him up to fuck with you, right?
Yeah, but nothing happened there. But another night, we got into it with some off-duty MPs. We didn't know they were MPs at the time. There was 3 of them. I go outside. He's getting beat up by them. 2 of them. He's getting beat up by 2 of them. One stand at the side. So I come up and I hit the one guy. I hit the other dude, and the guys grabbed me from behind. I got elbowed him up, and we, the fight got broken up, and then we went back on post. They followed us to my barracks, and then we got out there coming after him again. So I'm pushing him away, but he's so drunk he fell. And I don't know what he said.
This is all happening at the base, man. This is all happening at the base.
Right in front of the barracks. Right in front of the barracks. No, it started off post. They followed us on post. You know what I mean? Like,
so they were all part of this thing. They're all part of this. They're all part of the same thing.
Yeah. But they weren't in my company. You know what I mean? Yeah. I didn't like. They come out. We start fighting again, and this time I'm on the ground with one of them, and there's 2 of them hitting me, and then I got a buddy walking by, stomping on somebody, and they finally get it broken up, and I get arrested. That's just like I've always been the one that gets pointed out, and I got arrested, and so did my buddy, and they had us in a holding tank, and they wouldn't let us use the bathroom. I'm banging on the glass. Let me use the bathroom. I can see through it, like a little bit. They wouldn't let us go to the bathroom or nothing, and then they tried to investigate us and try to get me to tell on who bought me the beer. Like, I was like, are you serious? He said, where'd you get the beer from? I was like, from the refrigerator. Who put it in the refrigerator? I don't know. Where'd you get the beer from?
Because you were only like 19 at the time. Because you're only like 19, right?
Yeah. No. I was 19. Yeah, you're right. 19. Yeah. Yeah. So
I remember the days, man. I remember the days.
Those guys, those MPs, like we saw them another time at the bar, and they bought us drinks, and they apologized and everything. So it was cool.
After that,
you know, and that was the only, and that wasn't the only group of people I scrapped with. You know, I ended up running up into the same people. You know, later on. You know, a lot of crazy stuff. One of my homies got shot on the street while we were there. Like I wasn't there at that time, but I was going into Texaco, like was right off coast of Kansas. I go in there and there's this light skinned chick in there. She's like, "Well, your homie got shot." I'm like, I don't even recognize this girl. I was like, who are you talking about? And she's like, the light skinned dude. As soon as she said that, I'm like, oh man, I knew who it was. So I went to my girlfriend's. Well, my girlfriend and my buddy, her brother was in my squad. To let them know what's going on. We went to the hospital that was there in town, Junction City. I think it was in Junction City. And when we got there, they were putting him in the chopper. And then I picked up his girlfriend, and we drove that Wichita, because that's where they were flying him. And we stayed there with him like the whole weekend. You know, I had this, crucifix that my mother gave me that was blessed and stuff like that. I mean, back then I put stock in that stuff, but I didn't, back then I know he's right here, But anyways, he survived. He got shot. He got hit 9 times. He got hit
9 times, and he lived.
Yep. 50 Cent got shot 9 times too.
Stevie Bullets got shot 11 times, man. I think Stevie Bullets got him weak, man.
At once? And one shot in one sitting?
No, it was 3 different times.
Still, I don't want to get shot once. Yeah.
Shit, when he walks through the metal detector, that shit's going off, man.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So there's a lot more if you want me to keep going.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. I want to hear all this shit, bro. What's good, Gianni? How you doing, bro?
There's another time we got in a fight. Okay. Let's continue with that. I ended up getting Article 15 for that. All right.
It's kind of like a charge,
I had to
right?
do
It's kind of like you're getting arrested.
Yeah, it's like a write-up, and they take your money sometimes. They don't. I said I'd rather take an ass whooping than you take my money.
Have you ever had them take your money? Had they took your money?
Yeah.
How much?
Of course. I had taken each, like when they give you a field grade or whatever, it's $300. It was $300 something each time that I know of. But like, there's a lot more like to the story. There's just like I was like, all right, let me go in order here because it'll make more sense. I got Article 15 for that. He did too, but we didn't even really do extra duty because our squad leader at the time, he favored me. I was his go-to guy. I don't know why. Like, I mean, I did a good job. I just didn't take
my boy Eli. He had extra duty and he had to water the fake grass, man, and the fake flowers. He had to water them. That's the type of shit they made him do.
I did who? Eli? Elijah? Okay.
Elijah, yeah. Eli.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
He used to make them water fake flowers, man. I'll send you the interview I did.
I believe it. They used to make people cut the grass with scissors. You know what I mean? Not me, but I had to fill sand. I had to do strenuous stuff in the motor pool, like clean out the oil where oil vats are, and then one time in Kuwait, I had to spray paint graffiti because like in the what's the name of that? Doha, we had they had trailers, and then we had to spray paint the graffiti over. It got to the point where there was no more graffiti, so I would make the graffiti during the day, so I had something to do later on.
What? You're out there spray painting it?
Yeah, well, we were supposed to cover stuff up, but then I was making it so I can cover it up later. It's bored. Yeah, funny. But I got that Article 15 in Kuwait because I was working out with my squad. There was one guy who wasn't keeping his back straight. I was only trying to look out for him. I said, "Keep your back straight," and he started arguing with me. So we were going back and forth. And my squad leader yelled at me, told me to go at ease, and I slammed the dumbbell weight on the ground, and it bounced up and landed on his foot. And then some guy come out of nowhere, go to Eddie's, you know. And I said, who the F are you? He was a major. I didn't know who he was.
Oh man!
But luckily he didn't get involved. I got August 15 for that, big time. But that too.
So that goes on top of the other ones, right? So it's a certain amount of time. Once you catch these tickets, a certain amount of time got to go by before it wipes it off, right? Because that's what it is in prison. When you're in prison and you get in trouble, they give you a ticket. It's called a ticket, and they write up this thing. You know, they make a write up. It's kind of like charges of something. You know, if it depends on what you do. And they give you a ticket, and then like it takes a certain amount of time for it to clear. Like a Class A ticket, I think it takes 120 days to clear, and then you got to go to SEG for so long.
In Connecticut?
Guilty. Yeah, in prison in Connecticut, state prison.
Wow.
So if you're found guilty of these charges, then when? 10 years.
How long were you upstate?
About 5 years.
No, I mean how long?
5 years altogether.
Like 2.5.
I had life on the installment plan, man. I was going in and out, in and out, in and out.
Like a revolving door.
Yeah, I was never gonna stop, man, unless I was ready to stop it. You know.
There you go. Yeah, it's all about if you had enough. Have you had enough? You know.
And I've had enough.
Yeah, me too, man.
So like, did you run your time through with going to the military? Did your time run through, or did you get in trouble and have to get kicked out?
I almost got kicked out. I was this close. All right. I went home. It was on a pass. I didn't even have the pass, but I went home. I ended up getting on the way back. It was raining really hard. I tried to pass the Winnebago. It was on the turnpike on 76 in Bedford. And I was like, I'm going to pass the Winnebago, and then I'm going to pull over. I hydroplane to the car, total my car. But at the time, I'm thinking in my head, I'm getting this car fixed. It's going to get fixed, you know. I ended up being stuck in Bedford for a while. Ended up getting a ride back home. And I called my, I don't know, I can't remember who I called. I think it was my squad leader, but told him what was going on. They gave me a week, 7 days leave. Okay. I didn't make it back in time, but I kept calling. And my sergeant at the time, he was Sergeant Benson, I think it was, yeah. He hated me. And he was like a racist dude, really nasty. He didn't.
Oh, so if you leave the base and then you're on, like, you go home and visit your family or something, right? And then if you got to come back at a certain amount of time, and if you don't come back, then you're in trouble, right?
AWOL. I eventually got called AWOL because he didn't report for me. Like, yeah, I was gone, but I was calling too, you know. And I was supposed to call him, and then he's supposed to go to the first sergeant. You know,
so he didn't do that. He didn't relay the message.
No. And I took the bus. I eventually got back. I took the bus, but when I got back, all my money was stopped. Everything was stopped. So I didn't have money for like 2 months. You know what I mean? It was a hurt piece because I couldn't afford nothing. I had good credit at that time. I was like 19 when I started my credit. It was starting really good, you know. I had good credits twice. And what happened was my first sergeant called me in, and he said, by the time it would take me to kick you out, you would already be getting out. You know? And
so you kind of came off. You would have, because if you got kicked out, they would take your pension and everything, right?
Yeah, I don't get a pension. Like, that's for people who retire. Yeah. That's for retire. I didn't stay in 20 years. I get right. I'm 60% service connected, but I'm like I got individual unemployability because of my back. And like, honestly, since I've been out of the military, I've been fired from every job I ever had. Every job.
For what? Because of your back problems, or just being around people?
No, I can't. Like, I can get along with people. I don't get along with a-holes. You know what I mean?
Me either, man. There's a lot of them out there, man. You know who you are. Me either,
bro. Because of my temper. Yeah, I'm allergic to it. The bullshit.
Me too, bro.
Yeah. But yeah, but like I got my life together. When I got out of prison, man, I don't know if you want to say that for last. I can wait because there's more. There's a lot of other there's something I want to tell you about that accident I had.
Yeah, I want to hear about that accident, man.
Well, this was the early morning of 9/11 of 2001. Okay, when 9/11 happened.
This is before the planes.
We're at Fort Irwin.
This is before the planes crashed.
Fort Irwin, California. Mm-hmm.
Yo, I'm gonna grab a drink. I'm gonna grab a drink real quick. Give me 1 second, all right?
Yes. All right, I'll wait. You want me to wait?
Yeah, 1 second. 1 second.
Yeah. Gotcha. What's up, guys? I can't see the comments. Oh, there they are.
All right, bro, I'm back. All right.
I couldn't see the comments for a little bit.
Yeah, they're on the right.
Yeah. No, I had it. It wasn't even showing up. But all right. I was the driver of assault A&O platoon, assault and operations. I was a combat engineer, but we were in a platoon that did different stuff, like a lot of bulldozer work, use aces. I drove the dump truck, so it was just a lot of driving, a lot of bitch work, basically. But I had a dump truck, and we had a new. We always had different platoon sergeant. It was in and out of that for our platoon. He said, well, the aces got up the hill, but wheel vehicles can't go up steep hills like that. It was very steep. It was too steep, and the moon wasn't out. Like the moon, like the light, it was like a new moon, so there's no moon.
Yeah.
And night vision goggles, you need a little bit of light.
They don't work unless you have the little bit for them to see. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So I'm arguing with him. I argued with him for like 5 minutes. I was like, no, we can't go up that hill. And I mean, not like that, not nice, but we were bickering back. But basically, at the end of he goes, I'm the platoon sergeant. You do what I say, At the end, so I drove up there. He should have gotten out. You know what I mean?
What time was this in the day? What time was it?
Maybe 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, it was early in the morning. Yeah.
So this hill's deep as hell. So what's on the sides, though? What's on the sides of the hill?
On the side, it's just like a big, like it's one big long berm, big hill. But out there in California, there's a lot of mountains and desert. It's the training out there is so intense. It's like the closest thing, that it felt real. It was cool. I could say that for some other time or my other videos. But when you go up something that kind of dangerous, you're supposed to have a guide. Whoever's riding with him needs to get out the TC, needs to get out and guide you. All right. He led me into Constantine wire before. You know what I mean? But this time we go up the hill. I'm going. As soon as we get up to the top of the hill, right? We can't see nothing. The dirt on his side of the hill just collapsed. The hill collapsed, and we teetered and all I could think of was like Homer Simpson. It popped in my head, right? Like that, because we were starting boom, boom, boom. All of a sudden, it just went boom, 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 and I'm holding the steering wheel like this.
It started flipping. It started flipping.
Rolling, yeah, rolling and rolling. I can't tell you how many full times. Like a full time is 4 rolls. I think it rolled quite a bit. It was a 70 feet it rolled, so it's pretty far. I had the steering wheel. Okay, I didn't have my Kevlar on. I don't think he did either.
Did you guys have your seatbelts on? Did you have your seatbelts on?
I'm like, maybe not. I don't know. No, I didn't.
So you just holding on to the steering wheel.
The steering wheel was at a 90-degree angle when I saw it. I went and saw the vehicle after it was there. It was at a 90-degree angle. So, and that was just like hard ivory, steering wheel. But before we felt, my life flashed before my eyes. I saw everything, and I yelled. I didn't yell audibly, but I could hear it, and I yelled, "Dad!" I was thinking about my father and also God. It's like, separately. You know what I mean? Because I just felt like it was the end. Like I thought I was dead. It was like I could hear that my voice echo, and then all that, and then I survived. And he's on the bottom, I'm on the top. I got so much dread. I pulled myself up and get out of there, and then I had to go through the front where the windshield's at and get him out through the windshield. And he broke a few ribs. I put him up against the rock. I grabbed the sleeping bag, threw him up against the rock, and he's saying,
"So are your radios working and shit? Are you in contact with?"
I don't think they're, because the radio hit me in the head. So I ran up the hill right after I got him out and got somebody to call and told them to call in. They called in medevac, everything. Because already, who knows where it was, man. I had to get him away from the vehicle, Yeah. I was pissed off. I'm like, yo, I told you we shouldn't go up there. I told you. And he had cigarettes right there. I was like, man, in fact, give me them cigarettes. I needed a cigarette. And he just said, all I need is coffee. I was like, shut up. Don't say stupid stuff. But they ended up coming. They had to cut all his stuff up, off of him. And I see these female medics like, getting a testicle shot or something. Your eyes got all bright. But there was talk about them giving me a drug test. I was like, give me a drug test. Like, dude, I argued with this man. I was like, he's an idiot. And you know what?
And this is on the morning of 9/11, man. So
I remember because when we got back, we saw that shit on the TV, man. And they played us, man, because they played us with all that because a lot of that's bullshit, a lot of lies and everything,
Well, the country's in a crazy situation at the moment, man, and we're gonna all see what happens.
Yeah.
It's not good. It's definitely not good.
I'm not afraid, but I feel so terrible for children, man. I don't want them to have to go through this. You know what I mean? And they're on both sides. They're both they believers in Christ. They're gonna be killing their own family, basically, per se. You know what I mean? They're killing each other, and it's just no different than on the street killing each other.
Yeah, it's sad, man.
But that's why I just want to urge people, like right now, like this is part like prophecy unfolding. Like this is part of Matthew, was it 24? The wars and rumors of wars. You know what I mean? I don't think it's going to be war to end all wars. I don't think it's going to be the end of the world. Man. Because
you never know. Could be.
As a believer, before that stuff has to happen, the end, the Antichrist and the false prophet have to come. And before that, the two witnesses have to come. So, and that stuff hasn't happened. So, but a lot of people are afraid, and the prices are getting jacked up already. The prices are insane. Was that you I was talking to about the gas?
Yeah.
It went up like 50 cents within a couple of days.
Yeah. Yeah. Like this morning, it was 4 something. By the afternoon, it's 5 something. Crazy. And it's not going to get any better, man. It's not getting any better.
No.
So what happens once you guys get to you're at the hospital, the MP, wherever they bring you? What happens then? Do you get in trouble for driving up that hill and all that? Does the dude try to blame it on you?
No, we didn't go to no hospital. We got checked on and stuff. He got taken to a hospital, and then I never seen him again. So he obviously did something wrong because they shipped him out of California, and he was not at Kansas when I got there. We had another platoon sergeant. So I don't know. And I had platoon sergeants that liked me. I would lose my rank, get it back, lose my rank. By the time I got my E4, I never got pinned. They took it before I got pinned. Yeah.
Man.
I wish I wish I could have went back, went in, and did it right, man. But
so did you get out right after that?
No. I got out in 2002. they asked me if I wanted to re-enlist. And I said, you know what? At this rate, I think I better get out while I have an honorable. You know what I mean? I wasn't worried about going to war. I wanted to go the whole time I was in there because I want to do what needs to be done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But not that I want to go to war, but I'm saying I will. If it's there, let's do it. You know? But
hey, I would go in a heartbeat, man.
Said,
I honestly don't think they would give me a gun, but I would go in a heartbeat.
Well, it's your age now, but they might change that. Like if stuff gets like hectic, who knows? But and it goes by your record too. Your record as well.
But if they start coming here, if people start coming here to fight us over here, then I'm just gonna have to defend myself.
You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna take care of us. We're gonna take care of us.
Yeah,
we'll be all right. We got
you already know.
Yeah.
But when you're in the military, you get out, right? What's your first time you get in trouble with the law after you get out of the military? Let me guess, man. Drinking. You were drinking.
It had to do with drinking.
Yeah. Some shit.
Yeah. I can't remember how I got that. Like why I got in trouble the first time. I can't remember why I was on probation, but I avoided jail until like 2000. No, I went to jail a couple of times here in a couple of days and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But 2011. Yeah, 2011. I had to turn. Yeah, that's when I had to turn myself in. Oh wait. I did time. I had to do like weekends and stuff in Delaware County, so I did all that before then. But the first time I got in trouble, I don't know. But the worst thing was I got in a high-speed chase with the police, and it was about like 20, 25 miles. It was from like I don't know if
why'd
Mike
you run?
Still here.
Why did you take off?
Because all right, the first I got a DUI. I had already gotten the DUI like less than 3 months before that. What happened was it even rained hard. I even got warnings not to go anywhere, like telling me not to go. I took my buddy up to it was Lower Providence, like somewhere over Upper Providence, Delaware County. Went out to some bar up there, Lower Providence or Upper Providence. It was like I was drunk. He was drunk. He left with some ugly chick, and he never answered the phone when it was time to leave because I didn't know where I was because we were parked in a development, And I got to my car and his boy was there, and I ended up smoking some trees with him, but it put me over the top, like made me dizzy, and like I was messed up. I did Xannies that day. I think I did coke that night. It was coke, Xannies, weed, alcohol. I left because I had to get to work in the morning, so I couldn't find the exit. By the time I got the exit, I was pissed off. But the guy said I was going 78, which is bullshit. There's no way you can get 78 on that ramp. But I was going fast, and then put the lights on. And I said, "Fuck this, dude! I already got a DUI. I'm not going to jail in Delaware County. I hate this county." And I was going nuts because I was waiting to see I had a daughter, and her mom was keeping her from me, and her mom has a PFA on me because a door hit her ankle on accident. But anyways, I was going nuts not seeing my kid. I'm a real emotional person when it comes to my kids. And I didn't stop, man. I didn't stop. And like one point, somebody pulled up next to me, right? I'm still going. And then at one point I got up to I was going over a hump, but it's like I forgot that I had to get gas.
You ran out of gas. You ran out of gas.
Eventually, but I was hitting it. I was smoking it, but they're not gonna go fast and risk it. They got a radio. But I was looking down on 202. I was getting across 202 on Route 1, and I'm looking down both sides, make sure there's no cars coming because I don't want to hurt anybody. And there's 2 cop cars in the middle there. I got to squeeze through there. I almost lost it when I got through there, and I kept going, and I'm going bucking and bucking. I see cops coming on the other side, and then they're not behind me. But then I ran out of gas. When you go that fast, when you
so
go
the whole time you're driving, are you thinking the whole time you're driving? Are you thinking I'm going to jail? I'm going to jail. That's it. I'm done.
No, I'm like, well, yeah, I'm screwed. But I was trying to get off one of my exits and I was gonna get out of the car and go in the cornfield and disappear until there was no more alcohol in my system. You know what I mean? At least they couldn't get me for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was the plan. That was the plan, right?
Well, I mean, what was I gonna do? You know. So what I did was I said, I ain't talking to no cop. I'm not talking to them. I acted like I was incoherent, like I was out of it. So I'm listening. They come up, they bash the window, and I hear him hit me in the jaw. It had to have been the flapjack, but it hurt so bad, and I laid there like I didn't feel it. They pulled me out of the car, they grinded me on the ground and stuff. And like when you're screwed like that and messed up, you just go right to sleep. I went to sleep. I woke up with cuffs on in the hospital, and I can't remember the name of it, Ewing or something. I'm not sure, not Ewing, but it was up there somewhere. And they were like trying to get a urine out of me. I didn't want to give it to them, you know.
And were you on? You were on probation, right? Weren't you on probation at the time?
Yeah. And I had already gotten the DUI like 3 months before at a checkpoint because this girl next. I was paying attention to the chick, and I was like, it was too late for me to turn off on that one. But
yeah, you got the worst luck, bro.
I've gotten in fights at grocery stores with people, more than one occasion. You know, I'm talking scraps. Not no, you want to fight? No, like real scraps. I trashed this Indian guy's store.
Over what? What the fight in the grocery stores over what?
We were walking. I was in the main aisle at Giant. We were walking, and he was going to Lincoln University, the school over there. He bumped into me and didn't even apologize. I said, "Excuse me, motherfucker." You know what I mean? You know? And he said, "What?" And I said it again. And he come up, we bumped chest, and just started rocking him in his face. And we both went over to the cookie thing together and stuff, and then we were fighting, and then finally broke up. And the manager's like, "Get out of here! This is what you think." With those cookies on a little table.
Cookie thing.
Yeah. I see it. Like I see a lot.
Yo, were people around you with cell phones recording and shit?
No, not then. This was back. This was like 2010, 2009. No, 2009.
This is before the access of quick access to phones.
This is
like
the little flips. Yeah. Android was maybe just coming out, but But anyway, they used that high speed chase against me, and I had to get supervised visits with my daughter, you know, and like me, the way I carry myself is just no good, you know, when people condescend and stuff. But I really turned my life around, you know. So I got out, but I don't know how much more time you got left, but I'll tell you what happened when I got out, you know, like. What's going on now?
Wants to know, have you ever been to anger management, Will?
Yes, yeah. I'm past that. I've been to anger management. So right now, like I just go to my psychologist when like the VA when I need to, and she just tells me like I'm past that. She's like, you're past all that. You know what to do. She tells me to breathe in, take 2 seconds, and said don't sweat the small stuff. Yeah.
So you're working on it.
Blood pressure.
You're working on it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, always. Yeah. I'm like, dude, I'm like reading the Bible every day online and sharing it. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm doing on YouTube too. Just putting the same stuff because I want people see me as, you know, I make mistakes, but I have a great relationship with Jesus.
Yeah, I'm the same way, bro. People see me, they think my life is not perfect, bro. I fuck up all the time. I'm not, you know, I'm only human, man. And I'm just trying to show people that people can change, man. So, yo, the next thing I want to talk about is about your channel and what you got coming up next. I know you got a lot of stories, and I'm definitely gonna have you on again. Yes. But I want to know what's your channel about, and tell the people about what you got coming up next.
Okay. My channel's like just starting. basically. I just got internet and I had to call Staxx to get StreamYard and stuff to figure that stuff out because I want to like I I feel like I'm not doing enough for God. Okay, and to start out, wanted to keep myself accountable, so I started reading Proverbs according to what day it was, at the very least. And I figured I'd share that, so if in case nobody wanted to listen, I mean read, they could listen, or and then they might hear my 2 cents at the end. I make mistakes, but like I once I'm done with those 30 days, I'm moving on to concentrate on Yeshua. I call Jesus Yeshua. So if you ever hear me say that, you know who I'm talking about. I just want to talk about relationships. How like I want people to strengthen their relationship with Jesus. That's what I want for everyone. It's just work on it and strengthen it because that's what he wants. He doesn't care about religion. He doesn't care if you walk into a building. You know, the church is the people. You know, and I want people to see that hey, like maybe they can relate to somebody who's habitual screw up. So I mean, I was basically. I always bounce back.
I was too, man.
Yeah,
and like for even one person to look up to me, man, that's like an inspiration for me to keep doing the right thing because I don't want to let people down either. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna tell you, man. Some of the credit goes to you and Cuzzo. Shout out to Cuzzo because like I was depressed like when I started watching. Like I known about him a while ago. I was watching him and then he started like he would disappear for a little while and then he came back. I saw him when you guys were talking. So I was watching. I was depressed because one of my good friends, Jason, passed away. Rest in peace, Jason. No,
rest in peace, man.
Me and him were like we're real like brothers in Christ, bro. Like he was the closest thing to pure that I knew. Like there was like 4 of the people that say that he was their best friend. Like he was my best friend too. And then one of my homie called that was his best friend. And then another guy, Joe, who's a president of a veterans motorcycle club, that does charity work. That was his best friend too. And I ran into another guy that we went hiking with my best friend. I'm like, wow, man. And he was just so like, he made mistakes. He got angry and stuff like that. But I'll tell you what, man, that dude had a heart of gold, man. And he left a lot of knowledge with me. I mean, I knew a lot, but he taught me so much more about me, about myself, about dealing with myself. Before, he said, like, why are you worried about the speck in your brother's eye when you can't see the plank in your own eye? That's what you should have said.
And then you can't get out the sliver. And I that story was just at church last weekend, man.
Oh yeah,
that's the one cool. They read. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool how like that stuff like that happens all the time. Like
so.
Like,
Eliza asked me. Eli asked me. He asked me what you're going to cover on your channel. So what I'm getting from what you're going to cover is you're going to read the Proverbs every day, right? Like the like just for today type of thing. It's a book where it's got little verses in it, right?
No, I'm not. I'm going to finish. I'm almost done with Proverbs. I've already started that like on the 12th or 11th. I was just starting that. So like to give people an idea, like, hey, you could read Proverbs according to what day it is. And every time you read it, you'll find something new. If you go through it every month after month after month. But I'm not going to sit there and read the same stuff over and over to you guys. I mean, that would get boring. You know what I mean? So I'm going to go through, Elijah, I'm just going to go through the Bible I'm just going to pray on what I should read. And then I'm going to think, meditate on it, figure out what I got to do, and then I'll come up with a plan. It's more better when it's more goodlier when you just freestyle it. You know what I mean? I want to like get on lives. I can do lives because I got the thing now. I want to get on lives and be like, what do you guys want to talk about? As far as faith, questions. Like if you guys got questions, you can hit me up. If you're like ashamed to, some people are like that. I'm just not shy. I don't really feel ashamed of myself. I don't get like that, you know. So
you might find once you start doing it, man, that you'll be able to reach out to a lot of people, and you'll be able to help a lot of people a lot more than you could reach now without this platform. You know what I mean? And any help I can give you, man, to get you out there and get you to the people that you need to get to, I'll do whatever I can to get you there.
Well, I appreciate it, bro. And if you need help from me, even though, you know, you have more resources than I do, if I come up, you know, there might be something you need that I can do for you, man. Whatever I can do for you. You know, if you just need somebody to talk to, you know, I find it hard. It's hard for me to find somebody to talk to that's intelligent. As far as a woman
Yankees
goes,
for life. Go to the description of this video, and the link for his YouTube channel is in the description of this video. You guys can go check out his YouTube channel. Just go to the description, click on the link. It'll bring you right to it. Go check out the merch. That link is in the description of this video. All of this stuff is in the description of the video. So, yo, I definitely want to have you back on to hear some more stories. But do you want to give anyone a shout out to anyone before we go?
Yeah, well, if I missed anybody, I'm sorry. Well, shout out to Staxx, first of all, for having me on here. I really appreciate it, man. I really do from the bottom of my heart. Shout out to Cuzzo, because he's a good soul, and he looks out for so many people as well. Shout out to the Broken Misfits. You guys know who you are. God bless you. Shout out to my mother and father. Shout out to Bobby Vice if you're on here. Just shout out to everybody I care about. God bless you.
Oh, yeah, man. Thank you, man. I really appreciate you coming on. I'm definitely going to have you on again. So make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell so you can get my videos every time they drop. Thank you for joining me tonight, and I'll see you guys later. Thank you, man.